Lawyers for Inus Husseini said they wrote to the CID indicated he will not be able to honor the invitation. We'll keep our eye on this matter and bring you all minute-by-minute reports on this. But the Electoral Commission confirms it has gazetted the results of the parliamentary elections in the face of stiff opposition from the NDC. The party has been contesting some of the results. Today, the party asked its supporters to storm the State Publishing House, Assembly Press, with allegations that the gazetting was being done illegally. The official gazetting of the results will affect the party's continued challenge of the Techiman South and Hohoi parliamentary elections. In the case of the Hohoi elections, they had secured a court injunction against the gazetting. The interim injunction seeking to restrain the Electoral Commission from gazetting John Peter Amewu as MP-elect for the Hohoi constituency was granted by a whole High Court presided over by Justice George Bwedi after an ex parte application was argued by Chachuchi Kata on December 23, 2020. The legal practitioner insisted that his clients were not given the opportunity to vote in the parliamentary election in the Hohoi constituency. Kwekwa Santi was there earlier this afternoon, and this is what he observed.
I'm live here at the Ghana Publishing Company here in the Central Business District of Accra. And the background to this story is like that the opposition National Democratic Congress has been calling on its supporters to mass up here because according to them, the Electoral Commission is now trying to gazette the results of the parliamentary election and then backdate it so that they can use that to beat an injunction sought by the NDC in the Hohoi constituency in the Volta region. And let me give you a brief background to that. 2 days ago, yesterday actually, Mr. Chachuchi Kata secured a 10 days injunction at the whole High Court against the gazetting of the results of the Hohoi constituency. According to the NDC, led by Chachuchi Kata, the decision by the Electoral Commission not to allow the people in Lolobi, Akpafu, totally known as the South constituencies to vote. It's an aberration of the Constitution, and so the results should not be made to stand. And so the NDC is today alleging that they came here. I've actually been speaking to Godwin Akogan, is the Deputy National Communication Officer of the NDC. Although he was off record, he gave me the information that the NDC officials were here to try and get copies of the Gazette notification as has been done. But when they got here to the Ghana Publishing Company, they were told that copies were not available. And so they are saying that usually if the results are gazetted, as soon as the results are gazetted, there are copies available for anyone member of the public to come in there and buy copies for themselves. But they are saying there are no copies, and that means, or that suggests or gives credence to the allegation that the Electoral Commission is yet to gazette the parliamentary results. And so the NDC were here earlier, but they did not get copies to buy, according to Gordon Akogan, Deputy Communications Officer of the NDC.
Away from the Ghana Publishing Company, residents in the Central Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi traditional areas say they feel let down by the EC's inability to properly constitute them into a constituency. This is an action by the Electoral Commission, according to the residents, has led to they being disenfranchised in the December 7 polls. Residents say they are contemplating seeking legal redress if the EC does not act in the nearest future.
As long as the CI has not been changed, then the court case is in place to seek redress that we should have been. But how we would vote for somebody in the Hohoi constituency who belongs to the Volta region, and we in OT region going to vote in another constituency in another region is what I cannot understand. That is why the EC should have done the homework. Whether it was deliberate or not, I don't know. But if it was deliberate, it has created problems. The by-election can come after the inauguration of the parliament. Even if it is, say, March, we can have a by-election.
7 December, where there will be this thing, we want the government to create a constituency. Even not a district, a constituency must be created before they swear the parliamentary candidates in, so that we know where we are now. That is my view. Without that, we don't know us. We don't know where we are.
So if that does not happen, what will you do?
And where are we heading to? Why is the government putting us? Where are we heading towards? We are not under any district. So now, without any parliamentary candidate, the SAR people, where are we heading towards? Where is our development coming from?
Will you consider going to court? I mean, the traditional.
As for court going, when we go to court, the only decision will be taken from the court is that either the government should create a constituency for us, or we should go back to Hawkeye. But Jessica, we are saying we will never on earth go to Jessica that much.
But if the court says you should go back to Hawkeye,
we agree. We don't have a problem.
Does that mean that?
Because we are now Hawkeye. If the court decided that we should go to Hawkeye, that means a constituency must be created for us, and we will join the Hawkeye district. That will be Hawkeye North, Hawkeye South, or Hawkeye Central. That is my view.
Let's stick with electoral disputes because it was supposed to be a march through the principal streets of Accra to demand that the NDC accept the outcome of the 2020 elections or go to court with their evidence of rigging. But according to organizers, the police stopped them moments before the march was scheduled to start. So these presidential candidates, together with their supporters, held a gathering at the Obra Sport and aired their concerns under the umbrella of 10 2020 election presidential candidates. The leaders and their supporters urged the NDC to stop what they describe as violent protests and use the legal channels to address their grievances regarding the 2020 election results. Presidential candidates of the Convention People's Party, Ivor Kobina Greenstreet, is urging all those who have challenges with the 2020 election results to use peaceful means to have their concerns addressed.
To walk from here to the Efwa Sutherland Children's Park for a program that we had arranged. However, we have been prevented from doing so because there is a new directive that has come out from the authorities preventing any kind of activity. Being law-abiding citizens, we have respected this. That is why you find us saying the things we have to say about why we are here at this very Obra spot. You'll remember that only some 1 week ago, we felt it necessary to come together as presidential candidates to plead with all Ghanaians, to plead with the MPP also and the NDC especially, that what we want in this country is peace. Yes, you know that there can never be justice without peace, and there can also never be peace without justice. But you can also not have peace or justice without life. Already, it is very sad to note that some few people have already lost their lives during this election 2020 process. That is most unfortunate for someone to lose their lives just over voting.
The presidential candidate of the LPG in the 2020 elections, Kofi Akpalu, urged the NDC not to be violent, use the court system to have their concerns addressed.
We realize that, especially NDC, they deceive their people to go onto the streets, to burn ties, to block roads, and to do so many unnecessary things. And we realize that it is escalating, and it's not going to help anybody. So we want them to stop those things, and if they have any evidence to prove their claims, then they can go to court, because it's only in court that they can have proper redress. We don't want them to continue pushing the innocent young men and women to be brutalized and be beaten by the police or the military. So we need peace in this country. And the only thing that we need now is peace. Most of our young men and women are not working. They need jobs. And the investors will not come to open up businesses to recruit our young men and women. Those who have businesses will also not be able to continue building up. So we want a situation whereby we can have a peaceful atmosphere to create jobs and to create wealth for our young men and women.
Meanwhile, presidential candidates of the GCPP urged all stakeholders to work towards peace, as that is the only way Ghana can develop.
It's a peaceful country, and we have to project that image around the world. We're a very peaceful country, we are very hospitable, and we should not let the world think we are a place of mayhem. Youth want jobs. We want to create a situation where we can build good roads, good hospitals, so that when we are ill, you'll be properly taken care of. We have a lot of debts. We have to clear the debts. And if we don't create an environment where Ghana is peaceful to be able to clear the debts, where are we heading to? The current president, in 2012, went through challenges. He went through the courts. The court came out with their decision. And he said, although he does not accept the decision, for the sake of Ghana, he will accept it. And we had peace. That is what should happen. In the agricultural sector, we need to improve the situation so that we can be the breadbasket of the world.
Pay no attention to LPG 2020 parliamentary candidates who say I asked them to take loans. This is according to the party's 2020 presidential candidate, Kofi Akpaloo. A group of failed parliamentary candidates numbering over 140 who stood on the ticket of the LPG went up in arms against their presidential candidate, Kofi Akpaloo. Addressing a news conference in Accra Tuesday, parliamentary candidates who stood on the ticket of the LPG at the Kwabri East constituency for the 2020 election, Kwabena Ajeman, indicated Mr. Kofi Akpaloo asked him to take a loan for his parliamentary campaign, after which he will be reimbursed, but that has not happened. According to him, he has been running away from his creditors because of the loan he took, which was the making of Mr. Akpaloo. But Mr. Akpaloo says he never asked any of them to go for a loan.
No, sometimes when you hear these things, you don't need to pay attention to that, okay? Because common sense should tell you that. Where? In Ghana. I don't know when was the last time you heard this, that somebody went to contest on a ticket of NDC or MPP and he lost the election and he went to Akufo-Addo or Jomama asking for his money back. Okay? What about those who went for primaries in MPP and NDC? Okay, this is common sense. Sometimes you don't need to pay attention to these kind of issues. That is why I decided not to respond. Okay, if you have common sense in your head, you will not go and be asking that your flag bearer should come and help you to pay your loans. Did I ask anybody to go for a loan? Me myself, who is paying my loan? Me myself, who is paying my...
Because they claim that you actually asked them to do that. So.
Well, did I? My brother, I don't want to go there because I did not visit anybody in his house to invite him to my party. Okay? Did I fill their forms for them? Did I sign their forms for them? I did not fill their forms. I did not sign. They even borrowed my logo. They borrowed my logo to use. Okay? I did not charge anybody. Did they pay me money? Nobody gave me a dime. Okay? But MPP, if you want to be a candidate to an MPP, even on primaries, you pay about 40,000. Sure. If they have money, they should have gone to MPP or NDC. But they don't have money, and they came here. We did not charge them anything. They should be proud. I understand them. They want to be popular. They want people to know them. So they want to be on my shoulder so that people can see them.
And the moral of the story, do not go for loans for campaign. Still to come in this bulletin, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly says it is strengthening security at the regional workshop of the State Transport Corporation to protect Ayalolo buses. We are back with more. Welcome back to Joynews Prime to the rest of our stories. And the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly says it is strengthening security at the regional workshop of the State Transport Corporation to protect the Ayalolo buses. This comes after 4 of the buses were raised by an inferno Wednesday night. Joynews' Kofi Asari has more in the following report.
It took fire service intervention to stop the fire from spreading to other buses parked in the yard. Though the cause of fire remains unknown, managers of the transport service will not rule out arson. Henrietta Efia Kunedu-Abuaje is Public Relations Officer for Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly.
The buses with these registration numbers, GS 156316, GT 549617, GS 513018, and then GS 511818. It caught fire yesterday night, and then the fire service were called in from Chiapache to come and quench the fire. As at now, the fire service are still carrying out their exercise to see what actually happened to get the buses bent to that state. So we are yet to receive their reports. The buses are 60, and then 4 of them has been affected. Actively, we are using 50, so the other 50 are still on the road, and it's helping. The management is going to sit down to increase the security around the buses so that any suspicious characters can easily be seen, and then future situations of this can be averted.
Meanwhile, the fire service has commenced investigation into the cause of fire. ADO1 Bernard Nyametei gives advice to vehicle owners on how to prevent such fire incidents.
Before we move our cars, let's make sure that we check our cars, make sure our cars are in good condition. Let's check our battery terminals, our electrical system. Let's make sure that we check all these things so that we are sure of that our car is in good condition to take us wherever we want to go. And then after work of the day, let's also do the same check-ins to make sure that indeed the car is in good condition, park them and then go and rest. When you are tired, please don't drive. When you are tired, have a rest before you continue with your journey. If you're able to do that, I'm very sure that we are going to together help to minimize accidents that occur during this festive season.
Joynews camera technician Kufia Saris report read to you.
From Kumasi to Accra, 2020 campaign manager of the governing NPP, Peter McMeno, has attributed the huge loss of the NPP MPs in the just-ended parliamentary elections to what he describes as poor relationship between the MPs and their constituents. That's not all. He also indicates the MPs were unable to thoroughly communicate their campaign messages to the electorates within their areas. Over 40 MPs, including ministers and deputy ministers, lost the re-election bid. The party has already set up a committee to probe the huge loss. McMeno tells Joynews' Kwesi Parker-Wilson that the 2020 campaign team, which he led, cannot be blamed for the poor performance of the MPs.
The party did training of all parliamentary candidates. We did a manual. I can show you samples of it here. We did a manual upon which we trained them on how to conduct their campaigns. Okay? We didn't leave them to themselves. And we went out there to meet them, Central Region, Western North, Upper East, etc. Because the campaign had a set of trainers who had been trained. And we did the manual upon which they would look through to train them. So you cannot blame the campaign totally for the failure of an MP who could not get re-election. The way you behave in your community, etc., the voters will say, hey, we don't like you. We don't like this behavior. So some of them needed behavioral changes, which were not forthcoming. So if you do that, the voters will punish you.
He also disclosed that the committee set to probe the loss has summoned him to answer questions on the performance of the party in the just-ended elections.
I think that we have a review committee in place, headed by Nana Osafo-Maafo, with veteran politicians like Papa Uso Ankuma, Fred Owari, Madam Lisbeth Ohene, etc. on board. Kwame Osei-Prempeh, former MP for Nsuta Kwama, you know. So they're going to invite all of us to respond to some of these questions. So I would not want to take the wind out of their sail.
When are you scheduled to appear before the committee to justify?
Well, they have called my assistant, so eventually they will call me.
How soon
That I'm not in control of the committee, so I cannot tell, but I know they will call me.
Let's get into the Christmas mood, because as Christmas Day approaches, several major roads in Accra have been choked with cars. While some drivers have been lamenting this gridlock, others, such as motorbike riders and traders, believe the situation is heaven sent. Judith Awochi-Tando has been to the Kojo Thompson Road here in Accra. Here is her report, read to you.
I will not know. I think they're in Samanfua come here, in Samanfua come Accra here. They're car shopping. They're car shopping since December. They no come 2010. They come. They from sea come Accra. They don't buy anything.
In major cities like Accra, traffic congestion is a norm. However, the gridlock gets worse approaching the festive season. As people rush to market centers to buy goods for Christmas, motorists experience what seems to be an end in traffic.
It's a hot afternoon here on the Kojo Thompson Road. Cars are moving at a very slow pace, and most of the time these cars are at a standstill. This is usually the situation during the Christmas festivities. People moving towards Accra have to go through such dreadful traffic.
It took almost 1 hour here now, over from this junction to here. It has taken me over 1 hour crossing here. So it is too bad. The government is supposed to put police and direct the traffic. That's normally what they do on every Christmas time. But this one, I don't know why they are not helping us on that. It is too bad.
Traffic in here too much.
The traffic is hectic. Although I get customers, the traffic affects my business. I've only been able to drop one customer due to the gridlock.
Passengers in the traffic.
Although the dire traffic situation has heightened the frustration of most motorists, some traders as well as motorbike riders are rather excited about the gridlock. For them, it is only a means of making more money.
As a rider, because of this traffic, we are very happy experiencing huge traffic like this, because when there is more traffic, we get more money. So we are always praying for traffic to be like this so that we can also get money. January to September, you should know this because of this coronavirus and other stuff. Market have been down, so I believe God has turned our coronavirus to December for us.
So traffic in the cheaper, my business no cost.
Business is booming because of the traffic. We can't even feel the effect of the virus anymore.
The business is going high. The more the traffic, the more we get markets. So the traffic is good for us. They buy a lot, drinks, water, bottled water, they buy a lot of things. So we are also happy for the traffic.
The Christmas gridlock might be a burden to drivers and commuters alike, but clearly it's also a blessing to traders and riders. Judith Awochi-Tando's report for Joynews.
And so to come in business, EcoBank emerges as the biggest bank in the country in terms of assets. There is more when Charles Aite takes over for business.
Hello there, good evening. It's time for business. I'm Charles Aite. EcoBank emerged as the biggest bank in the country in terms of assets, deposits and loan disbursement for 2019. That's according to the 2020 Banking League report put together by the Center for Economics, Finance and Inequality Studies. George Raffi has the rest of the story.
The report put together by non-profit organization Center for Economics, Finance and Inequality Studies Banking Sector League report tracks the performance of 23 banks in the country between 2018 to 2019. In the area of assets, EcoBank improved from the number 2 rank in 2018 to number 1 in 2019 after growing its assets from 10.4 billion Ghana cedis to 13.1 billion Ghana cedis, overtaking GCB. In the area of deposits, EcoBank came from the number 2 rank in 2018 to pick the top spot for last year after growing its deposit to hit almost 11 billion Ghana cedis. For some, in assessing a bank, you want to look at its assets, loan disbursement and deposit mobilization, which EcoBank stood out strongly for last year. The assessment by the center, which is made up of some eminent financial lecturers from the University of Ghana, Central University, to lesser universities in the UK, corroborates other research findings and assessment by other institutions like PricewaterhouseCoopers. EcoBank also stood tall in the area of commissions and fees for last year. However, when it came to profitability, GT Bank came on top as the best bank in the country. According to the center, its assessment was based on the bank that was able to earn an adequate return on loans and other non-loan activities. SG can be described as the best bank when it came to interest on income and financial intermediation in the country among the 23 banks reviewed. The 2020 Center for Economics, Finance and Inequality Studies Banking Sector League report this year focused on the fintechs, an indispensable enabler in the universal banking regime. For some, this report again may confirm EcoBank's dominance in the banking industry and how they can leverage on this to secure some big transactions going forward. But for many, they'll be looking forward to the 2020 financial report of these banks and how COVID-19 has impacted on their numbers.
Well, chicken is a delicacy most of us crave for during Christmas, and no matter how cheap or expensive the livestock is, patrons always find ways of getting it on their dinner tables. Of course, we have been having an interaction with the Ghana Poultry Project on this year and the poultry industry, especially as demand keeps soaring. I sat with Asiwo Mebieku, the communications and marketing specialist for the Ghana Poultry Project, who says even though prices are high, it may not last.
A while back, there was a ban on the importation of some poultry products, and so this time I think even the demand is higher for local poultry. What you would realize is that the prices are also a bit higher this time because of some issues that are in the industry.
What kind of issues are those?
Shortage of maize, shortage of soy, and those things. The feed price has gone up a bit, and there is lots of work being done in the background to make sure we regularize this, and so Ghanaians should bear with us if the price of poultry products have gone up a bit. It's just for the moment. It's not because of Christmas. Farmers would really love that we have very affordable locally produced chicken, but this time around there was a little shortage, and it's not their fault.
You know, in the lead up to COVID-19, we had poultry farmers saying, yes, the lockdown has really given us opportunity to market local production and even the sale, consumption and sale of poultry in the country. Has that changed, or it just was short-lived?
Well, as I said, the demand is still high. The prices, it's the pricing that has gone up a bit. So the demand is okay. Nothing has changed really. We expect that the prices will come down and then people are able to buy.
Well, just before we leave, Kwachi Stephen, a professional painter, has emerged the third winner of the Toyota Corolla from the Star 787 Hash Lotteries. It was presented to him at the Toyota Ghana showroom in Accra, and we have more in this report.
Words cannot express or explain how much I'm feeling right now. I just can't say anything about it. I'm just excited, overexcited. Overexcited. That's what I can say for now. 2 weeks ago or so, yeah. And God has made it for me. God has made it for me. I know many has played, but I don't know what happened. I only played it once and I won it at once.
So as promised and seen for the past week, Star 787 has given out 3 Toyota Corolla. You could be next this very Saturday. What are you waiting for? Just pick your phone, dial Star 787 hash and then play now. Only 5 Ghana cedis. You take home 705,500 Ghana cedis, cool cash, or a brand new Toyota Corolla.
All for business. I'm Charles. IIT Sports is up next.
It's time to bring you sports here on Joy News Prime. My name is Hans Mensand, and President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kweku, has delivered his Christmas message. We'll bring you that story, but FIFA today has decided to cancel the 2021 edition of the men and the men's Under-20 World Cup and the Under-17 World Cup due to the impact of COVID-19. A statement released on its website, it said that the 2021 edition of both tournaments will be cancelled and the next edition will be held in 2023 at venues that were to hold the 2021 editions of the tournament. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to present challenges for the hosting of international sporting events and to have a restrictive effect on international travel. FIFA has therefore regularly consulted the relevant stakeholders, including the hosts, member associations, as well as the confederations involved in both tournaments originally scheduled to take place in 2021, FIFA said in a statement. It added that in doing so, it became clear that the global situation had failed to normalize to a sufficient level to address the challenges associated with hosting both tournaments, including the feasibility of the relevant qualification pathways. Let's go to the story of the Ghana Football Association President Keto Kweku delivering his Christmas message.
It is a privilege to come to you at this time of the year to say thank you for the amazing support you've offered our Football Association. On behalf of our hardworking staff, on behalf of the Executive Committee of our Football Association, we say thank you for an amazing but very, very difficult 2020. Soon, this year will leave us, and we'll all look into the new year with great hope and aspirations. To my dear Premier League clubs, it's been already 6 weeks of exciting Super Premier League action. Back-to-back actions, back-to-back games on TV, delicious football, and I think that overall we have enjoyed our 6 weeks. Overall, everybody and each one of you have conducted yourselves in a very professional way, for which reason our game is on the rise. I thank you for this. I thank you for your loyalty. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the desire that you have shown to contribute your quota towards the development of our Premier League. We are grateful. To our clubs who compete in our National Division 1 League, to our female clubs who compete in the Women Premier League, and most importantly, to our clubs who compete in our regional leagues, the Female Division 1, the 2nd Division, the 3rd Division, and the juvenile clubs across the length and breadth of our country. We're looking forward to your new season with positive mentality, great organization, and exciting games.
That's President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kweku. That's it for sports. My name is Hans Mensando, and from all of us on the Joy Sports team, we say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Is here. Beautiful Becky.
Hello to you, Aisha. How you doing? Oh, yeah, it's just a day to Christmas, and we're already enjoying the Christmas. For those of you who are not financially,
sound,
you won't enjoy the Christmas. I read something online. But Aisha, what's your favorite Christmas carol? We went on the street to ask, people, what's their favorite Christmas carols are.
We are on be the local one. Bronyo, yeah, pimpin'. Catch you coming up here. Don't expect me to sing any foreign thing, I love my own, and Catch You Coming Up Here plays a huge role in our growing up with that song, the Soroku, and then Bronya song. You'll be in cassette the moment you hear it played, you're like, yo, it brings out some different feeling. It reminds you of the Hamatan, dry lips all over with all those crew and what.
Do you have any Christmas songs that's your favorite or anything?
The local one.
Can you hear one line of it?
Yeah, that's the one that the Ghanaians, I'm talking about the Ghanaian version, not the foreign version. Yeah,
so can you sing one Christmas song? Just one line of your favorite Christmas song.
Really?
Yeah.
Joy to the world. That's all.
So, is there any Christmas song you love so much? Can you sing just one line for us?
Oh no. One line, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Yes. So I have an announcement actually before. I have an announcement. So tomorrow, if you have money, tomorrow is Christmas for you. But if you don't have money, tomorrow is just another Friday. So everybody,
thank you, and thanks so much for bringing us through this. And that'll be it for the bulletin tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Merry Christmas to you all. Enjoy the rest of our programs.